American payments infrastructure company Flutterwave announced Tuesday a Series E round that values the company at $3.2 billion. This round notably includes an equity investment from payments blockchain company Ripple. The company did not reveal the size of this round, although Flutterwave says it has now raised more than $500 million in funding to date. SpaceX has captured the attention of media, investors and the public for years now. Interest propelled by the company's reusable rocket launches, the rise of its Starlink satellite network, and of course, for its founder and CEO Elon Musk. But in its 24-year history, nothing quite compared to its initial public offering. Everyone seemed interested, perhaps because of the sheer size of the IPO. The company priced its $5.55. 6 million shares at $135 each to raise $75 billion, making it the largest IPO in history and turning Musk into the world's first trillionaire. That total raised figure would end up ballooning to $85.7 billion raised.
As electricity bills continue to pressure households, many Pakistanis are looking for ways to reduce power costs without spending heavily on rooftop solar panels. Solar systems can help reduce bills, but they require large upfront investment, proper roof space, installation work, and in many cases, battery backup. This makes them difficult for renters, apartment residents, and families who cannot afford a complete solar setup.
Karachi is set to receive a major boost to its public transport network as a large number of double-decker and electric buses are expected to arrive in the city this year. Sindh Senior Minister Sharjeel Inam Maimun announced on Monday. He said the new buses will be introduced gradually on various routes, expanding transport options for residents and strengthening the city's public transit system.
Federal Minister for Planning, Development and Special Initiatives, Ahsan Iqbal, has directed the Higher Education Commission, HEC, to immediately conduct a comprehensive review of university degree programmes that provide jobs, a directive issued to HEC. The minister said Pakistan's
future competitiveness depends on equipping young people with the skills and knowledge needed in a skills and knowledge-driven and innovation-led global
economy.
Fly Jinnah has announced the launch of a new direct route between Karachi and Dammam, further expanding its operations in Saudi Arabia and strengthening air connectivity between Pakistan and the Kingdom. According to the airline, the new service will commence on July 2nd, 2026 and will operate 3 times a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays.
Islamabad. PT's parliamentary leader in the Senate, Barrister Syed Ali Zafar, rejected the budget for 2026-27 as a document that achieves neither public welfare nor long-term growth, calling it a budget of broken promises built on 11 deadly sins. Speaking during the Senate debate on Tuesday, Zafar said every budget must have 2 objectives: trickle-down benefits for the poor and a credible strategy for economic growth and job creation.
India blocked access to the Telegram Messenger app on Tuesday ahead of a retest of a nationwide medical college entrance examination following a scandal last month over a question paper leak. The failure of the hugely competitive exam, along with separate marking fiasco in high school tests, sparked outrage and fueled youth protests demanding the education minister's resignation.
France's oldest female detainee has gone on trial for murder at a court in Versailles. In a cold case centring on a dismembered body found 31 years ago, Marie-Thérèse Garcia, 79, is charged with the kidnap and murder of her former sister-in-law, Corinne Didio.
A Russian artist best known for his unflattering caricatures of President Vladimir in Poland. Prosecutors said Tuesday, adding that 2 Belarusian men were arrested in connection with the killing. Semyon Skrepetsky, 44, was killed in a suspected execution on Monday morning in a parking lot near his home in Biała Podlaska, a town that sits near Poland's border with Belarus, the Polish prosecutor's district office in Lublin said in a statement.
Britain's Prince George is set to attend elite UK school, Eton College, following in the footsteps of his father, William, the Prince of Wales, and a long list of the country's former prime ministers. Prince George will attend Eton College from September, Kensington Palace confirmed in a statement to CNN on Tuesday. Pakistan's government is set to abolish sales tax on sanitary products in a sweeping new measure that reproductive justice advocates say could destigmatize ubiquitous social taboos around sexual health. Planned withdrawal of the 18% sales tax on sanitary items and contraceptives, announced as part of the country's fiscal budget last week, comes after a campaign for improved access to commercial period products in a nation where only a tiny proportion of women currently use them. From courtrooms to cultural boycotts, a series of developments in the Netherlands all point to a Dutch society more sympathetic with the Palestinian cause, even if its government remains broadly supportive of Israel, analysts say. The recent acquittal of Amin Abu Rashid, a refugee-turned-humanitarian worker, on accusations of funding Hamas has been a rare win for the pro-Palestine movement in the country. It is also one that pro-Palestinian movements hope will make it more difficult to target activism in the Netherlands against Israel's actions.
Tehran, Iran, the road leading to the signing the Memorandum of Understanding between the United States and Iran has been difficult. And the announcement on Sunday that a deal had been reached does not mean that everything will be straightforward from now on, even after the planned signing of the deal on Friday in Switzerland.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, says it thwarted planned attacks that targeted the UFC event at the White House on Sunday and that multiple people are in custody. On Tuesday, FBI Director Kash Patel said the agency first learned about the threat on June 10, days before the mixed martial arts event on the White House South Lawn celebrating US President Donald Trump's birthday and marking the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence.
It appears using AI as a cover story for cutting jobs is fast falling out of fashion, unlike many of his tech industry peers who have cut thousands of jobs this year, citing the need to restructure their teams to make the most of AI. Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev conspicuously made no mention of AI in his note to employees, announcing that the company is letting go 10% of its full-time employees, or about 290 people.
There aren't many success stories to refer to when it comes to AI hardware. Claude, which makes AI-powered note-takers, is trying to become one by targeting professionals who take a lot of meetings. The company said it has sold more than 2 million of its devices, including Claude pins and credit card-styled gadgets that stick on the back of the phone. It also said that its subscription business has reached over $100 million in annualized revenue run rate. Claude pointed out that many AI companies often rely on digital documents and prompts typed from memories. Its argument is that its devices, which don't have any screens, help people have conversations in real life and recall important points along with summaries and action items later.
The Department of Justice on Monday sided with XI in a lawsuit that sought to stop the company's use of dozens of unpermitted natural gas turbines near its Memphis data centers, according to a Wired. The DOJ said if the NDLAC, which filed the lawsuit in April, prevails, the result would undermine American national, economic, and energy security by seeking to shut off the power supply for artificial intelligence innovation that supports the Department of War's military operations. Huawei appears to be exploring a new foldable phone design after becoming the first brand to launch a trifold smartphone with the Mate XT Ultimate in 2024. A new patent shared by Sleek 7 and Postfast shows a vertical trifold design, suggesting that Huawei may be looking to bring the trifold concept to the flip foldable category.
Google Chrome is removing the last workarounds that allowed some older ad blockers to keep running after the browser's move to Manifest v3. The change marks another major step in Chrome's long-running shift away from Manifest v2, the older extension system used by popular ad blockers such as uBlock Origin.
Defence Minister Khawaja Asif said on Tuesday that Pakistan's economy was off life support and now on a path towards sustained growth. Speaking during the budget debate in the National Assembly today, he said Pakistan was effectively insolvent when the current government presented its first budget, but had now regained economic solvency.
Jilt, 4 independent candidates who recently won in their constituencies, joined the Istikam-e-Pakistan party after a meeting with party president Abdul Alim Khan. The members include Anwar Ali, elected from GBA 23 Ganshay 2, Dr. Asad Sheikh, elected from GBA 24 Ganshay 3, Mohammad Dilpazir, elected from GBA 15 Daima I, and Aman Ali Amir, elected from GBA 21 Gaza.
The United States and Iran are to sign a memorandum of understanding, ending weeks of war and starting 60 days of negotiations in the Swiss city of Geneva on Friday. The event will be hosted by Pakistan, which has played a key role in mediating between the two adversaries since the war began with US-Israeli strikes on Tehran on February 28.
Israel's Supreme Court has again rejected an appeal by prominent Palestinian Dr. Hussam Abu Safir, who is being held under the unlawful combatants law without any criminal charges being brought against him. Following the ruling on Tuesday, Abu Safir remains in solitary confinement in harsh conditions and continues to be denied necessary medical care. Physicians for Human Rights Israel, PHRI, said, citing information from Abu Safir's lawyer, Nasser Oder. Iran coach Amir Galanoe said on Monday that his team were being oppressed due to last-minute travel changes stemming from tensions between Iran and the United States, adding the disruption had affected their performance after a 2-2 draw with New Zealand. The Iranian Football Federation had negotiated a late move of the team's base camp from Arizona in the US to Tijuana, Mexico, amid uncertainty over US visas and a growing sense that the squad's presence in the US should be kept to a minimum. Iran's ambassador to Mexico has told Reuters.
As LLMs have grown more powerful, hallucinations have proven stubbornly difficult to avoid. Errors pop up in even the smartest models, and while there are ways to catch those errors, the industry is still figuring out the best way to do it. Probably, which just raised $9 million in seed funding from Andreessen Horowitz, is trying to build a more rigorous way to catch those errors.
SpaceX passed Amazon to become the 5th most valuable company in the world, after its stock price climbed 20% on Monday and more than 8% in early trading Tuesday, bringing its valuation to more than $2.7 trillion. That's despite Amazon turning a $78 billion profit in 2025 on $717 billion in sales last year, compared to SpaceX's $4.9 billion loss on $18.7 billion in revenue. SpaceX has recently added new revenue streams in the form of compute leasing deals with Anthropic and Google, though, and the company has added $1 trillion to its valuation since going public on Friday.
The School Education Department has announced merit-based recruitment for administrative positions, including headmaster, senior headmaster and principal posts in government high and higher secondary schools. The department has invited online applications from Management System, HRMS portal. Officials stated that the selection process will be transparent and competitive. Based on written tests, interviews will be transparent interviews. Punjab Chief Minister Mariam Nawaz has approved a comprehensive 3-tier security plan for Muharram al-Haram, introducing strict measures including a ban on drones and illegal use of loudspeakers across the province. Chairing a high-level meeting on Muharram security and administrative arrangements, the Chief Minister said that Punjab is deploying advanced technology to ensure peace and safety during religious gatherings and processions. Claude users are reporting a massive reduction in Opus 4.8's context window. Just a few weeks, one user wrote on X. So Claude Opus 4.8 is back to 256k context. Anthropic, what's happening? I'm confused.